landlord Sarkodie interview ama interview na atrigger idea bremo ewa ha na during the interview na obede eka say one of the happiest moments when he carry him say time or ne ba titi and time titi like or titi no you time na akoyo tutu you finish say uncle bo show outside Ghana na I need to say uncle ana unjai na me nti how I obede pombere and I will a story and everyone ever continue.
But just talking about like added motivation, how do you balance that? So becoming a parent and then switching your focus to music as well. How do you find the balance?
When my daughter came, I blacked out.
Okay.
I was so into her that nothing else mattered. Like even when it got very serious when I was being booked to go on tour. I started thinking about how long I'll be away. Then I want to like cancel it. It was that serious. I was so into her, but then I realized the same person that you are so into has to be proud of you. So you have to get back on the road. But yeah, it affected me in different ways. Even
sure, last month and I Sakuba and I say over the pom but I drop a championship a mistake. Now drawing mistake no or EP listening. Now drawing EP listening no we invite a lot of media personalities be on be interview and three about one thing and Endra and I say any new one about one thing the album you be breaking it down at the moment. Now I already any in series for a interview now during the interview already one or two things be a trigger idea bremo ewa hanum now during the interview no already say ono like on planning say about drop it album the out to be an feel like feeling it me ba you feeling eba no akeka one or two things be able no drop it album but right now I say or drop it or planning a drop it album there and should that enkoyi on feel vibe no by vibe na eba organic dia na wakeka one or two things you know why they wa drop it album and I say EP now obede e continue e ka say the amano I stay like relevant for years no say or like anyum no or passion e de manyum no ade de o ye na say o passion dia ade no betimi ade aye emfa hone award abeje emfa hone ye beba ade no like a passion say ade wi na pese me yenko ade a definitely bibia baby an ebefa nti eno na making relevant for over 15 years still now obedi relevant and a passion nti mo yenti how I Sarkodie e kan na say NRT from the journey from 2007 2008 eba to date no passion as Sarkodie nyan no mo yenti how obedi NRT story no ya ba na be continue
and you've had longevity within the scene, so it's been over 10 years. What is the key, would you say, to your successes and just staying in the game for so long?
Loving what you do, that's the number one thing. Just love it, the passion for it. So it has nothing to do with if you're having a bigger record or you won an award or people love you or not. I just love music. Whether you like it or not, I love music. So that's my number one push. And I think if that's your focus, it's hard for that to be broken. If it was for the awards or the money, which I love money, by the way, don't get it twisted. I love money, but not because of that. I don't do music because of that. I do music because I love it. I love the art of writing, listening to my music, listening to other people's music. So I think the passion for it organically just made you relevant because you just love it. So I didn't notice that I don't think there's a plan to staying consistent. If you love something, you're definitely going to be consistent with it.
Okay, man. Like you said, it's a passion for yourself. Do you find any differences when working on a mixtape compared to an album?
I don't really see differences because I don't approach any project thinking I'm about to do it. It happens.
Spontaneous.
You know? Yes. I've never been successful with saying I'm about to record a project. It never works. So I would just be there and I realize something is happening because I'm in a certain energy and I'm recording a certain type of music. And then that would tell me, oh, I think an album is happening. But I've never woke up and planned that I'm about to do an album. It never works for me.
Okay, so if it's a spontaneous thing, I want to talk about like musical processes. When you get in the studio, is it about hearing the sound, or do you have like a topic prior when you go into the studio?
Both ways sometimes, but mostly, I think for the past 4 or 5 years, I've been moved by production. So the music has to be made already. Then I'm inspired to write You know, when I was coming, when I didn't have access to producers, when you didn't have money to go to the studio, that's when you write a lot in your head.
Okay.
But now I've been pumping for a while, so I've gotten used to it. So I will have the track being sent to me, sometimes with a hook, sometimes without the hook, but then the beat is gonna like tell me what to say. So, but I always go to the studio when I'm about to finish what I've done. That means I've practiced a bit, recorded, written, practice, and then now I'm sure before I go to the studio. Way back it used to be the other way around. I go to the studio to figure it out, but now I go there when I'm ready to record. So I don't go to the studio that much. I stay up in my room. I like to write when I'm in a car, so maybe they drive me around. But by the time I get to the studio, I have to be very sure that I have the basis of what I want to do.
Sure, nti ɛsɛ ɛna ɛyɛ Sarkodie ɛna reti ɛyɛ story no. By during interview now, no ɔsa tackle ɛyɛ Rapaholic. Na wɔkyerɛ mu Rapaholic na ɛyɛ album. Na album na ɔyɛ like album EP anaasɛ listening. Ɛna fans na ɛyɛ ɛka sɛ oh ɛne ɔnyɛ concert yi. Nti ɔyɛ baako no ɛna fine. Na the next year fans na call say oh ɛne ɔnyɛ foforɔ ɛna ɔyɛ ne fine ɛna right na bɛyɛ annual concert anaasɛ ritual concert anaasɛ annual concert de every year biara no. 25th biara no Rapaholic ɛyɛ ɛba so life and colored 25th biara no Ghana and I say oh Ghana nko ara onim sɛ 25th ɛyɛ Rapaholic ɛyɛ Shark Nation for ɛdia and ɔbɛde ɛka sɛ every year biara no nya new artists a ɔmɛ pass through every year biara new artists ɛbɛ pass through every year biara new artists ɛbɛ pass through ɛyɛ last year ɛyɛ Black Sheriff pass through day in day out to be every year biara new artists ɛbɛ pass through now ɔbɛde continue ɛka sɛ like the happiest moment bra or ne mommy like titi bro titi no like na the happiest year and I said the happiest thing that happened in life no edu time be cramp no like e be den say okobosho a na odwen na chi say na me kura no titi kura no be den nti be 102 bi ba obede continue ka say na da bi e wo say mitimi den e ko perform e outside of say man perform na man get manya cash a mintimi emfunction no e be say ono ntina me that me break nti obede tackle one or two things na me nti how obede tackle that issue no e ba no be continue e dey mama.
I want to go back to Ghana now. So Christmas times you done Rapaholic.
Yes.
So the rebirth. How was that for you and just performing classics and then just bringing emerging artists out as well? How was that feeling?
You know, it's been 10 years, amazing 10 years. Rapaholic was an album and I was doing an album launch and that became a ritual every year that I had to do it because I launched the album on the 25th of December 10 or 11 years ago. It was a success and people called for the show. So then I made it annual. And then just being alive and still having people pull up and buy tickets and fill the place, that's a big thing to me. And then when we marked the 10 years, we had a lot planned to celebrate it, and that's exactly what we did. It's the rebirth. So we're about to go on another decade journey. And that's why we had to like celebrate that in grand style. So we did the exhibition and a few pop-up activations and then the main show itself. And yes, you have every year has new emerging artists, and that's one of the platforms that they all want to be on. I thank God for that. Like most artists want to be on Rapaholic. So last year was the same. Any artist that was out the year, they performed on the stage. Yeah.
Okay. So even with like emerging artists that then go globally, what are your thoughts on like the next generation of African talent? So you've got like Black Sheriff, you've got Rayma doing his thing now.
Exactly.
What are your thoughts on the next gen?
The beauty of the music journey is that every generation is going to do better than the generation they came to meet because they're going to look at everything you've done and do better, you know, which is supposed to be that because what we have done will make sense when the next generation pushes the culture further. So that when the conversations go further, Sarkodie is likely to be mentioned as one of the people that also was in there. So I'm all up for the next generation always going to the next level. And trust me, it's just getting started. Because when I see what Black Sheriff is doing, Rayma, as you said, you can just only imagine what's about to happen in the next 2-3 years. It's really going to be huge. And I'm super excited.
Okay, man. And just touching on your career, what would you say, what moment in your career has brought you the most happiness?
When I had my kids, yes. First my daughter and my son. These two time in my life in general made me appreciate that more than, yes, I love music. I love the fact that I think your ego comes in as a rapper also. You know, I'm not just an Afrobeat artist, I'm a rapper. So there's a lot of ego in there where you want to win awards, you want to do this. But when I had my kids, I realized what is more important in life. And I'm super proud of that moment. And the fact that and I thank rap for giving me an opportunity to take care of these kids, you know, so these two things. But then that moment when my children came into my life, I think I cannot, not even any award can be compared to that. So I would say that's the biggest highlight in my life. Yeah.
Okay. So slightly related. I got twins on the way.
Oh,
yeah.
ooh.
But just talking about like added motivation, how do you balance that? So becoming a parent and then switching your focus to music as well. How do you find the balance?
When my daughter came, I blacked out.
Okay.
I was so into her that nothing else mattered. Like even when it got very serious when I was being booked to go on tour. I started thinking about how long I'll be away. Then I want to like cancel it. It was that serious. I was so into her, but then I realized the same person that you are so into has to be proud of you. So you have to get back on the road. But yeah, it affected me in different ways, even how you write and the things you want to say, because you want to be responsible for what you're saying. You can't tell her this and then you're saying this. So first, when I was free, I could get away with a lot of lyrics, but now you can't, you know. Yeah. And she's very inquisitive. She'll ask everything that you're saying, you know. So it puts me in check when I'm writing.
Okay, man.
Sure, in TSC and I obedi Hoover and the NRT air story by almost signing out no obedi Emma 102 advice be edema a young upcoming and I say young G's one or mobile like obedi it to a mofo say 102 things to do or say the omoye and bibia baby and for passion never energy any a web bibia be fine now me how I obedi NRT air story no your banner be continue edema.
I just want to talk about advice. So what would you say is the best advice given along to you along the way?
To me, I was an OG in Ghana, I think a high life musician, and he said I should grow before my fans outgrow me.
Okay.
Yeah, I shouldn't wait for the fans to grow before I catch up, because that's a very hard race, you know. But you have to grow, and then they have to catch up with you. So you show them how it's done, because they're following, not in a bad way, but of course they see you as somebody who knows something. So you have to always be ahead of what you're doing, and then they have to catch up to wherever you're heading to. But you don't wait and be comfortable till your fans outgrow whatever you're doing. And now it's hard to like get them to come back to listen to you. You know? So you have to be like 10 steps ahead.
Even if you talk about fans, music always changes.
Yeah.
So how do you keep up with your music? Is it a thing of staying authentic, staying true to yourself? Or do you feel like you have to change your sound as the years go on?
I think I stay true to myself, but all of that because the sound is changing, and I love music to start with. So even if it's changing, it's still music, and I love it. You know, I don't criticize new sounds, so I can jump on it and still be myself. Because the only thing that's hard for me is to like literally to dumb it down. Because this new music is a bit more like, you know, you just say a few words and that's it. I came from an era where you had to say a lot, right?
Lyricism.
Exactly. So I tried to find a way where I could still say a lot, but still appeal to the new crowd. So I can change the sound a bit, but I don't lose myself totally. Yeah.
Okay, man. And finally, what advice do you have for those that are trying to make a career out of music and will break into the industry?
Take it very serious, not just music, whatever you're doing. It can only make sense when you take it serious, and you have to be stubborn about it. Nobody can tell you how you're going to make it. You know, you are the only person that sleeps at night and see what you see. Not even Sarkodie can tell you what you're going to do. You know, so even if I'm not a fan or I don't like what you're doing, that doesn't determine if you're going to make it or not. You know, so you have to be very stubborn about your own dream. You are the only person that sees it, and it takes a lot of discipline and sacrifice to be able to get it. You don't have it. You can have it in and out. You know, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. You have to be all out into it, and then, sure, anything, even whether good or bad, if you put a lot of energy into it, something is going to come out of it.
Sure, in TSC and I Sakuba and I will story within you know. Ya somebody like interview no ya somebody na up at the amount, but bit my full interview no. YouTube. You do link na where but bit my full interview no. So there be a bit me a bit me I come at the mind. Don't forget to say video baby I'll be like and want any on notification bureau at the mind. But don't forget to say the championship mixtape and I said the championship EP ever wanting I want the sleep or bit me I could stream it at the Abua brand no. Don't forget to share, subscribe, want any on notification bell no. At the mind we are not commenting at the mind we are out.